Today's doodle looks a lot harder than it is. Grab your sketchbook and color with me. We'll take it one step at a time. This template is easy enough to draw on your own. You can take any random object near you that's a circle and trace it. Or you can use a compass, and then freehand the lines to draw the grid. I prefer that look over using a ruler. If you want to download this template instead, join my membership for access to all of my bonus content. The information is in the description along with all the other products that I'm using in this video. I have a lot of markers laid out here and I'll be using every single one. I have 3 shades of markers for each color that I'm using. So 3 shades of red, 3 shades of orange, 3 shades of yellow, and so on. Is this a little extra? Sure, but I love it and it's fun to add these extra details with the depths of the shades of the colors. Over here I'm coloring with the lightest shade of each one, the lightest red, the lightest orange, and the lightest yellow. I'll explain a little bit more why I'm doing this later on. The next step is using a fine liner pen to round out the corners. At this point in the doodle, I actually had no idea where I was going with this. I like to say trust the process because the result isn't the point. You get the benefits from the act of drawing and coloring, regardless of how it turns out. The result being really beautiful and fun and unique is just a bonus. Now we're adding a shadow effect by blending the alcohol markers. This is easier than it looks, trust me. The first step is to make sure you have the section already colored in with the lightest marker. So this is what I meant when I said before. The reason for doing this is because alcohol markers can blend before they dry, but they dry quite quickly. So the first color on the page dries much faster than the layers on top of it. The paper soaks in that first layer really quickly, and then any markers you lay on top of that take longer to dry. So when you blend out every shade of the gradient markers, they will blend and look a lot better. I always prep my 3 gradient markers by opening up the caps so I can swap through each marker really quickly. I start with the darkest color, I draw the shadow line, and then I right away go over it with the medium one, and then blend it out. You can see I go over it a few times to blend it out. And then I go in with the lightest one and blend it out and go over the entire section. And that lightest shade is the same marker as the original one that I colored. If you see here, this process in real time, it's a lot slower than you might think, but it's really fun and enjoyable. Give it a try. Now I'm filling in the remaining sections with a black and white pattern. I chose a really time-consuming one that took me a while and was hurting my wrist by the end. So feel free to swap this out with something easier. I would recommend something like lines or just something easier because this intricate pattern was pretty time-consuming and difficult. I will admit that the fact that this pattern was so small and detailed definitely adds to the result. So do with that as you will. I'm going to speed through this part, but just know each section took about 5 full minutes to do, so do the math or don't. I did most of this sitting on my couch and not much of it got filmed. I took my time with it and I enjoyed the process. I trusted the process and I was so happy once this part was done. Now I'm going to repeat the same process to create the shadow effect on the black and white parts using shades of gray markers. First coloring in with the lightest shade as the base layer. This time I'm using 4 gradient shades of gray instead of 3, and that's just because sometimes I'm extra. So I'm starting with my darkest shade. It's almost black, but it's not quite black. And I'm drawing the shadow effect on both sides of the section, except this time I'm rounding off 2 of the corners also. This isn't necessary, but it's fun, and the effect it gives is really cool at the end. So again, I'm starting with the darkest shade, and then I'm going over it with the lighter shade and the lighter shade until I'm blending it in with the lightest marker all the way. The final step is to draw a highlight on the rainbow sections. I'm using a white jelly rolled pen for this step, and I'm making the highlight pretty thick and noticeable. And now take a moment to admire what you created. Let me know if this was easier or harder than you expected. Have a beautiful week.